Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today, I wanted to do another customization of the Enus Deity in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, my armored version was pretty cool, but I decided I didn't really love the armor on it, and I didn't really love the overall look of the car, so I decided I wanted to go for a more subtle build without the armor. Now, I still have the machine guns equipped because I figured, you can barely notice them, so might as well just keep them on. And I also still have the oil slick dropper equipped. You can't really notice it either. The car still has full upgrades, so armor, brakes, engine, transmission, and the turbo. They're all on the car still. But we're going to be focusing on cosmetic upgrades today and trying to make this thing look as clean as possible. Anyway, let's hop in. Alright guys, so starting off with the body trim. Now we can of course change this to whatever color we want. However, I think the carbon does look really good. But the primary and secondary trim also look good. I just think the carbon's better though, so we're going to go for that. Now for the front bumpers, we have a lot of different options here. I don't want to go with something too crazy though. I don't really mind the carbon bumper trim. I feel like that's a good look. The street kit is also a pretty good look, I feel like. It's pretty subtle, but it still adds, a little bit to the car. The carbon street kit though, that thing's looking kind of crazy, so I think we're going to go for that one. Now for the rear bumpers, of course we can change it to a carbon bumper. We can also change it to a carbon aftermarket kit. I honestly feel like that's a pretty good look. I don't know if it necessarily fits the classy approach that I kind of wanted to go for, but I think we're going to do it anyways. Next up, of course, we have the exhaust. All of the options do look really good here. I feel like this car has really solid exhaust options. I think we're going to go for the titanium exhausts. I feel like those look pretty good, and they're pretty subtle, so it's pretty good. For the grille, of course, we have quite a few things we can do to this thing. We can do a recessed grille. Does that really change? Oh, okay. The recessed grille actually looks pretty good. We can have a slatted grille. Kind of like the carbon. Carbon pinstripe's okay, but I also like the recessed grille. Let's do the recessed grille. I like that. Now for the hood, of course, we have several different options here as well. I don't want to go for something crazy aggressive. The inset hood's pretty good looking. The performance hood's cool too. I think I kind of want to go for like maybe the ridgeline hood. It's pretty subtle, but it's like a little bit more aggressive. Let's go for that one. Now, of course, we don't have the Amani tech on this thing. I'm not really intending on putting it on, so we'll just leave it alone. For the lights, we are going to go xenon though, of course. For the livery, we do have the option to go with a few different things here. However, I don't really feel like any of them really fit our subtle vibe that we're going for here. So we're just going to leave that off. Yellow and black for the plate, of course. For the respray of the car, this is where it's going to get interesting. I was kind of thinking about like a dark blue maybe, or like kind of like a, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of like a boring blue, like harbor blue. I feel like it kind of looks good though. Or maybe mariner blue even. I think mariner blue is actually really clean. I think we're gonna go with mariner blue. That looks really good to me. Let's do that. Now for the secondary color, we could go black, or we could also match it up with the mariner blue, which I think is what we're gonna do, because I feel like it just looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Let's do it. Okay, now for the trim color. Now, we could go with something like kind of crazy. We could go with like a blue interior, like a sort of a navy blue, like maybe nautical blue. I feel like it kind of looks good. Let's go for nautical blue for the interior. Now for the roof, of course, we can change it to a primary roof if we want to. However, I kind of do like the carbon look. So I think maybe the carbon ridgeline roof or the carbon inset. I think the carbon ridgeline though. That looks good to me. Let's go for that one. For the skirts, of course, we can make them carbon, do a primary skirt lip. Oof, carbon skirt lip is looking real good. Carbon street skirts are also looking good. Man, maybe the carbon aftermarket skirt kit. Let's go for that. That looks clean. Now for the spoiler, of course, we can go for a lip spoiler. We could do it in carbon. Those look pretty good. The carbon flat ducktail, of course, we have that too, or the carbon ducktail. Now I went with the carbon ducktail in the last car, and I still feel like it looks really good, so we might go for that. We'll see. We're definitely not going to put on one of these big kind of ugly spoilers, so we'll just leave that alone. I think we will go for the carbon flat ducktail. I think it just looks good. Now for the suspension on this car, you can slam this thing down to the floor. I don't really want to though. I feel like it doesn't look that good, so we're just going to go for street suspension, which is exactly what I did on the last customization of this car. Now for the wheel type, could go for some tuner rims. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Not tuner, street rims. That's what I was talking about. Could go for the concave mega mesh. That's my favorite rim, and I feel like it does look pretty good on this thing. However, I feel like there's also some rims that fit the car a little better. Like the True Fade concave, honestly, I feel like those fit the car pretty well. So do the Hyper Fresh, but I don't know. Of course, we have the Mercy concave as well here. What about in track? Oh my god, those are ugly. We're not putting any of those on. And none of them fit like that well, I don't really think. So maybe we'll go for the concave mega mesh. I feel like it's just a good looking rim. And for the color of them, maybe we'll go for like stone silver or something like that. Or maybe, I feel like stone silver is pretty subtle. I think we could get away with that. Or maybe carbon black. I don't know, man. Let's just go for regular black, I think. For the wheels, of course, we do have bulletproof tires already equipped. So last but not least, the windows. Tint them all the way out. This thing is looking done, I think. Let's take this thing outside. We're going to do a sound test and a review, although it is snowing, so you might want to refer to my other review if you really care about the performance of this thing. Anyway, see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, let's take a listen. This thing does actually sound really good. I gotta give it to Rockstar. They did a good job with the sound of this thing, that's for sure. The overall look of the car, I mean, it looks great too. Oh man, the snow is just fun to drive in. Oh my god. Yeah, as far as the review goes, I would go watch my other video if you really care about how this thing, you know, performs. It's pretty good though. Like when it's not snowing, it's a pretty good car. It's definitely not the fastest ever, but it's also not the slowest either. It's not really meant for speed at all either. Like it's, oh boy, jeez, I'm getting just spam called, huh? Nice. Yeah, I mean, this car is, it's, you know, it's supposed to be a luxury vehicle. It's not exactly for, you know, racing or anything like that, or performance. Like you don't really buy this car for that. If you want performance, you know, you go out and get the Ignis, or, you know, you refer to one of the older DLC cars like the Krieger or something like that. So, you know, this thing's not gonna probably win you any races or anything. I mean, it could, I could be wrong, but you know, that's not really this thing's intended purpose, I don't think. So, you know, just be wary of that. You know, it is a relatively expensive car and everything. I would say it's well worth the price because I mean, I think it looks great, but honestly, performance-wise, probably not worth the price. There's definitely cars you can get for probably cheaper that would outperform this thing. And yeah, it's, you know, it's not the greatest car ever, but it's also not the worst either. I wish that it wasn't snowing so I could like properly review this thing for you guys, but so far, I don't know, the snow doesn't seem to be lifting up too much, so yeah. Anyway guys, I think that's pretty much it for the customization and the pretty flawed review. Let me know what you guys thought of my customization in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or if you learned something, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.